zu befürchten. Sie sind dumme Jungen. Sie denken, in diesem Krieg kämpft Tamson mit Schild, Schwert und Speer gegen David mit seiner Schleuder. Sie wissen nicht, dass Krieg heute ein Wettstreit der Schornsteine ist. Ein Kampf von Treibrad und Maschine, von gesplittertem Stahl und giftigem Gas in geschmolzenen Lungen. Als wir diesen Graben anlegten, gruben wir nicht nur Erde aus, sondern Beine, Arme, Schädel, Helme und all die Trümmer dieses mächtigen Ringens. Das ist die Realität, der wir uns heute stellen müssen.
General von Gellwitz has ordered us to stand our ground at our first trench line at Shrapnel Corner. If the Americans are too great in numbers, we will fall back to this chateau and fight them there. Our third defensive line is back here by this railway hub. Remember, we are strong on the defense, in depth. Let them come.
Jetzt eine Granate!
We have lost objective Charlie. We are losing objective butter. We have lost objective butter. Forces are gone.
We lost this battle to these unpredictable Americans. First the Friedensturm, now here beside the Meuse River. But we few, we live to fight again. In the Argonne forest we shall never be broken.
The Germans were using defense-in-depth tactics designed to lure the enemy towards much stronger rear defenses. The victorious doughboys marched into the Argonne forest, unaware of the deadly defenses awaiting them ahead.
Es heißt, der Krieg ist bald vorbei, aber dieser Gedanke fühlt sich so unwirklich an. Wir kämpfen nun schon seit 4 Jahren an dieser Front. Die einzige Wirklichkeit, die wir kennen, ist der Tod. Die meisten von uns haben längst vergessen, dass es da draußen eine Welt gibt. Wenn wir versuchen, uns mit Geschichten aus der Zeit vor dem Krieg aufzumuntern, können wir kaum glauben, dass diese Geschichten wahr sind. Nein, ich glaube nicht, dass es hier endet. Nicht in diesem Wald, nicht heute. Wir haben keine Furcht mehr in uns.
Reconnaissance suggests that the Ritz bunker will be their point of attack, so be ready to defend. Should we lose this position, immediately fall back to this bridge at Hellfire Junction and hold the line there. Failure would mean retreating to the Abbey ruins. This is where we achieve victory, or this is where we die.
We are losing objective butter. We have lost objective Charlie.
Soldiers. But those Americans, they are full-blooded bulldogs and try to finish us. Make them pay for their recklessness.
Half of the enemy forces.
Champions. But remember those at home who pray for you. Show fortitude and courage in this coming final battle. And then we can go home and meet with our loved ones again.
The enemy is being reinforced with an armored train.
The Americans have been stopped. The Hindenburg line is secure. We can now negotiate a truce on equal terms. Let this mark the end of slaughter, the end of damage, the end of hate.
One can only speculate what might have happened if the German army had successfully defeated the Meuse-Argonne offensive. After 4 years of war, the will of the German people was breaking and its empire collapsing. With American troops still arriving in Europe, an Allied victory would still have been likely.
Сколько еще эти красные дикари будут позорить русский народ? Главные инструменты политической агитации для них – винтовки и насилие.
С баррикад я вижу мертвого солдата. Его глаза открыты, он смотрит на нас, не мигая, подобно восковой кукле. Его взгляд сдавливает мне горло и холодит сердце.
По ночам на улицах слышны крики. Местные скандируют большевистские лозунги. Город заражен красной чумой.
Defenders of Tsaritsyn. Our spies tell us that Demchika Street will be the first target, so we must defend here. Should we lose this position, we must immediately fall back to Savrasova Street and hold our ground. Failure in this sector would mean retreating to Teplova Square and rallying our forces at the cathedral. If we fail to hold this position, we will then be forced to make our last stand in the merchant district. The success of our entire campaign depends on controlling this area. Lose the city, and we will likely lose this war. Alas, soldiers, the city is lost. But there are no real victors, for we are all beggars now. Russia has run out of bread and humanity.
Losing Tsaritsyn to the Red Army was a catastrophic blow to the anti-revolutionary forces. The momentum the White Guard had gained in the south was now at an end. They began to lose the support of many previously loyal factions who ultimately had no desire to reinstate a Tsarist regime. With their ranks thinned, the Whites' attempt to take Moscow ended in failure, and their armies were forced to retreat to the Crimean Peninsula. Though the rear guard held out long enough to ensure the evacuation of 150,000 soldiers and civilians by sea, General Wrangel's forces were ultimately defeated here. The Red Army now controlled all of Russia, and the civil war ended in November 1920.
Царской армии, на других черкесские папахи. Мы разные, но нас объединила ненависть к большевикам.
Мы трижды пытались взять город. Взятие Царицына – это ободряющий клич всему миру, презирающему коммунистов.
Большевики жгут села и запугивают крестьян. Вот она, их свобода.
Я грузил пушки в чрево спящего поезда, огромного стального монстра. Сегодня войну выигрывает тот, кто контролирует железные дороги.
Soldiers, Lieutenant General Wrangel has given clear orders. We must stand our ground at the red line here. Should we lose this position, we will then retreat to Zivina's ruins. We must use the ruins for cover, or we may be overrun. If this should happen, then we must fall back to this area of the Don River. Failure here would mean retreating into Tsaritsyn itself. Let the past be our future. For Mother Russia! Bolsheviks are defeated. Excellent work. But prepare for those devils to come again. And when they do, send them back to hell. You are heroes all. Commander and peasant, man and woman. You defended the honor of a great country. Now defend her again, for they will come one last time. Those who would destroy Russia with their filthy propaganda have been defeated. Let the revolution drown in blood and dirt. There is no way back for them. The past is our future.
Had the White Army succeeded in holding Tsaritsyn and kept control of the Volga River, access to oil and grain would have surely strengthened their tiring forces. With fuel in their tanks and food in their stores, perhaps their subsequent march on Moscow would have been successful and seen the volunteer army put an end to the socialist revolution. Had the Reds lost Tsaritsyn, perhaps Commissar Joseph Stalin's position in the Bolshevik ranks would not have been so favorable, and so the future of Soviet Russia would have looked very different indeed.